Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one today. I'm Nick, and I am continuing on with my reviews for the People series with Brad's pick from Good Will Hunting. He has chosen The Departed, which is a great film to choose. And if you're not already subscribed to Good Will Hunting, go ahead and go check them out. I'm leaving a link down in the description, guys. They do great reviews, rankings, they have trivia nights, they do great skits where Brad plays an excellent Pennywise that you don't want to miss. So go check them out, guys. Show them some support. And let's get into this review. So The Departed was released in 2006. It stars Leonardo Dicaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and was directed by Martin Scorsese. Now, right off the bat, guys, I just want to say that I am no expert in this subgenre of crime or gangster type movies. I really haven't seen that many. This one being one of the only one, actually. I've seen Casino when I was younger. Don't remember much about it. You know, I checked out The Irishman a few years back, but it just really wasn't for me. But even though I'm not a huge expert on this subgenre, I do know that Martin Scorsese is one of the legends in this genre. Like, he's one of the best at what he does. And this movie is definitely no exception. It's really well made. He is just so good at world building and creating these characters that you care for, and they feel real. It's like these could actually be real people in real life. And I've never experienced anything like the mob or anything in real life, but the way he depicts it in films, it seems like really a realistic view on it. So the basic plot to this one, guys, is about an undercover cop played by Leonardo Dicaprio and a mole in the police force played by Matt Damon are both trying to identify each other while infiltrating an Irish gang in South Boston. Now, technically, guys, this is a remake, even though I have never seen the original or never hear too many people talk about the original. I think it might have a different title, but if that's the case, this might be one of the best remakes ever made. And one of the biggest positives I can give to this film, and it's not hard to see, is the all-star cast. Even the side characters, everybody gives it their all, and there's a lot of big names in this one. Leonardo DiCaprio plays our lead. He's a rookie cop. He gets put in undercover. He comes from a shady family, so they don't really trust him on the force, but they pretty much use him to infiltrate this Irish mob. And you really feel bad for the guy, all the shit he goes through in this movie. I mean, right away the cops are giving him a hard time when he's applying for their jobs. Then they figure out they could use him. Once he gets put undercover and he goes in with the mob, then the mob figures, hey, we can use him as well. And the guy's just getting used all over. He's in life-threatening situations from start to finish. He's in a state of panic basically in every scene because something could always go wrong. And the worst of it is he never gets the recognition he deserves since he's undercover, and most of the police force doesn't even know about him. We also get Matt Damon, who plays Sullivan. This guy just rose right up through the ranks in the police force. He's highly trusted, really recognized, but secretly he is working for the gang in the police force. He was basically manipulated as a child. Like, right from a young age, he was shown what you can get with power. And if you're on the gang side, the Irish gang side, you can get what you want if you work for them. So that's how he ends up with them. And Matt Damon just does a really good job of making you completely despise his character. Now, having these two characters on each side of the fence, both trying to identify each other throughout the entire runtime, is real entertaining. There's so many close calls on both sides. You got one following the other down the street, but they're just far enough away they can't see each other's faces and whatnot. And I just think it was a really smart move to show the viewers right from the start who the good and the bad guy is, and not trying to have this as like a big twist or whatever 3/4 in the film. I think it works much better with us knowing, but none of the other characters knowing. So we're always on our edge of our seat, knowing that, oh, you could get caught here, you could get caught here, but we never quite know what's going to play out. And I think that was genius. Again, you could have had it the other way around where we're not sure who's the good or the bad, but I feel like then they wouldn't have been able to work on the character traits as well and the story. The way this is done to perfection. And I also love the fact that they're both seeing the same psychiatrist, Vera Farmiga, who does like PTSD and different things like that with the Force. And it's just really fun to watch them both interact with her, but she doesn't know about both of them. I just think that's genius writing. And like I said, everybody in this flick gives 100%. But Jack Nicholson, he is just meant to play these villain roles. And every time he does, he gives it 120%, man. This might be one of my favorite roles of where he's the bad guy. His performance is just masterful as Frank Costello. The man owns, he has his own neighborhood where he owns everything, like how gangs are. He's sophisticated, he's smart, clever the way he talks, but don't get it twisted. He is no joke. He will mess you up. He's very menacing, scary at times, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of the page with him. He will mess you up. But somehow when he's having these conversations with everybody throughout the film, his charisma just shines right through the character, and I love it. He's the whole package. Clever, smart, insensitive, crazy. He's a lunatic at times, but he plays all of it so well. There's just so many great scenes, like when he doesn't trust Billy at the start, and he's looking for wires on him, and he's smashing his arm with his broken arm with the cast. It's ooh, that's painful and intense, and right away you know that he is not messing around. All the way later in the film where he suspects a rat being in the gang, like a mole for the cops, and where he's doing the facial expressions and that, going, I smell a rat. It's just gold. Every scene he's in could last an hour and I'd be fine. It's just so entertaining to watch him. And like I said, all the side characters bring it as well. Mark Wahlberg is a whole lot of fun in this movie. He's this over-the-top, hard-ass sergeant that's always swearing nonstop and just going lunatic crazy in the police force. And he's just so fun to watch. Super entertaining. Yeah, he's a little bit over the top for a real life cop, but I mean, like I said, it's just so fun to watch. And everybody else brings it too. I'm not going to start talking about everybody, but Vera Farmiga as the psychiatrist, Alec Baldwin, Martin Sheen, they all bring their A game. And it's a really incredible looking cast. And like I said earlier, guys, the story is just so clever in this. It's dripping with tension basically for 2 hours and a half. And I'm not a big fan of longer movies. I'm the type of guy who likes his 1 hour and a half films, quick little shorties. But this one, honestly, I've never felt the runtime once. It has incredible pacing, and it's really something I could just watch forever. This would be great as a series. I would just be binging and binging and binging it. Because once this movie's done, I could literally just keep watching. It's just so damn good. And it also doesn't shy away from the violence and the brutality when it needs to. It doesn't overdo it, but when it needs to, it's going to show it, which I really appreciate, especially as a horror fan, And by the end, there's more than enough surprises to keep you on the edge of your seat and keep the movie unpredictable. Yeah, to me, the last 15 minutes is just pure cinema gold. From the rooftop scene all the way to the very final act when we're in the apartment, you know what I'm talking about. It can't be any better. It definitely ain't no Hollywood ending, which, if you ever watch Anna and the Apocalypse, you know that that's what we want. And the very, very last thing they show in Sullivan's apartment, I hear a lot of people are pretty mixed on this. This is the one thing in the film that not everybody agrees on. Some people do not like this ending at all. Me, I absolutely love it. I'm in the other camp. Yeah, if this wasn't in the film with Sullivan and Mark Wahlberg's character there at the very end, if that wasn't in here, I feel like it would have been too bleak of an ending, too on a sour note. But man, does that feel good when you think all hope is gone and then bam, that final act happens, that very last scene. You're like, yes, and it's so great, such a feel-good moment after all the shit that we went through the last 20 minutes. And all in all, guys, this movie is just really hard to even nitpick, let alone find any flaws in it. So I'm going to have to go ahead and rate this bad boy. And you know what? This is going to be the third film on my channel to receive a perfect 10 out of 10. it's a masterpiece. And I'm not even a big fan of the crime subgenre or the gangster subgenre, but this is flawless. So there you have it, guys. There's my quick thoughts on The Departed. I hope I did okay. I'm not used to reviewing these type of flicks. I'm used to reviewing like slasher movies and that, so this one was a bit different for me. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and until next time, guys, thanks for watching.